They've done it. Ipswich Town are back in the top flight and they're coming home to a civic reception. Tonight, Anglia News comes live from the centre of Ipswich as we join the celebrations. Good evening, welcome to a very special edition of Anglia News. These pictures are coming live from Ipswich and as you can see the town's at a standstill as thousands of fans converge on the town hall to welcome home their heroes. We're devoting our programme to the celebrations and down there, in amongst it all, is Richard Henwood.
Thanks Claire, it's the moment that Ipswich Town Football Club thought might never arrive. After 3 years of disappointment they've finally made it to the promised land. Vast riches await them in the Premiership, and it's all thanks to one football match. Yep, they beat Barnsley 4-2 in the playoff final yesterday, and now the whole town, the whole county can celebrate. Scenes here have been absolutely fantastic. The open-top bus has been touring the town for the past hour, and I think Stuart Gerald has been monitoring its progress. Stuart.
Well, if you think there's a lot of people here, and there certainly are, more than were here in '78 when I was here after the FA Cup final, the journey of the team has been incredible. They have spent an hour going around the streets of Ipswich. There have been thousands and thousands of people lining the route, following the bus. They've been hanging out of windows, they've been on the rooftops. It's been an incredible journey. I have to tell you, though, that one key player is missing from the bus, and that is the Ipswich goalkeeper, Richard Wright. The man who gave away a penalty, the man who saved a penalty, the man who was a hero yesterday has joined up with England ahead of their match in the Ukraine. I'm looking behind me, the bus still isn't here. I am not at all surprised because there are so many people blocking the route. We'll go back to Richard for a moment.
Thanks Stuart, well this really is an occasion for the players and the management to celebrate. And one man who knows exactly how they'll be feeling is Kevin Beattie. He was a member of the Ipswich team which last played at Wembley back in 1978. He joins me now. Kevin, this must be bringing back memories for you.
Oh, definitely, Richard. You know, all them years ago, 22 years ago, this town hall and the Ipswich Town Centre was full up, as we know. And I was a player then, but now as a supporter, it just means exactly the same to me, and I'm so proud. And I'm so pleased we got up to the Premiership.
The scenes are very much similar to what you would have experienced all those years ago.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, not really. It's the same, you know. The fans are the same. They're a little bit older, that's the only thing. But, you know, the atmosphere is still here, and when the boys get here, they won't believe it, because they're going to love it.
And they deserve it as well, don't they, after this season?
They do, you know. All the club deserves it, right from the chairman down to the cheerleaders, because they had a 5-year plan. They've done it in 4 years, so really, they've done brilliant. So
it really is something for the fans, isn't it?
Well, that's what the football club's all about. It's a very friendly club, and well, as you can hear them now, they do look after the players, and we have got great support down here. And you know, this is what it's all about. It's a fans' day yesterday. The team will get their day when they go to the Premiership, but it's the fans who's going to enjoy it now.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious what they think, but let's find out from the horse's mouth. Richard Footer, I think, can speak to one or two of them now. Richard.
Yes, thanks very much indeed, Richard. I tell you, the atmosphere down here is absolutely tremendous. I've been here for around about 4 hours. It was already a sea of blue and white when I got there. The cacophony of noise has been building ever since. Some of the fans have been here since very early. How long have you been here today?
3 hours.
What did you come so early?
Because we need to get a good place.
Who was at Wembley yesterday? You were at Wembley?
Yeah, I was.
I think the atmosphere here is even better than Wembley, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. I don't think you can beat yesterday.
People are talking about giving George Burley the freedom of the town. I think he might get it after tonight.
I should think so. That was really good yesterday, especially when Timmy put that last goal in. Great.
And how do you think Ipswich are going to do in the Premiership next season?
Oh, they should do all right. Even though I'm a Celtic supporter, they should still do all right.
They're a bit late arriving, but you're going to be giving them a big cheer when they come round the corner in a few minutes, aren't you?
Yep. Yeah.
OK, give them a big cheer. Ipswich are great to steam around. You see what they think down here. They're really looking forward to seeing their heroes. Now back to Richard Henwood.
Thanks very much, Richard. I'll bring in Kevin Beattie once again now, just to hear what he's got to say about these scenes.
Well, as you say, we just ducked something there, miss out. It's great. I say it's taken me back 22 years, and I must admit I'm getting goose pimples and butterflies in my tummy, because, you know, this is what the game is all about. If it weren't for the fans, it wouldn't be a football club. And these have been looking forward to this for a long time, and I'm so pleased that we got to the Premiership at last.
they've got to do one or two things, bring in one or two new faces when they do get into the Premiership, though, presumably.
Yes, unfortunately, you know, the Premiership is for the big time, and as you know, we're only a friendly little club down here, but George is going to have to invest, obviously, and then look obviously forward to the youth system, which they've got a very good youth system here, and there's some good kids coming along, but we won't be able to stand, you know, the money like your Manchester United or your Liverpool, so he'll buy wisely, and I'm sure he'll get some decent players in.
Okay, we can hardly hear ourselves even think up here, can we? But I've got a feeling we may be able to return to Stuart Gerald now, just to see what exactly is happening with the team bus, whether it's actually arrived here or not. Stuart.
Want to take a commercial? Well, this is absolutely wonderful here. We were hoping to bring you the bus, but it's stuck round the corner by sheer weight of numbers. Match action. Match action. Are they on?
The fireworks that greeted the teams as they walked out onto the pitch were spectacular, fitting for the two sides playing for a place in one of the world's most exclusive leagues. And they provided an explosive game, which kicked into life after only 6 minutes. Barnsley's Craig Hignett shot from more than 30 yards, an effort which came back off Richard Wright. Ipswich one down, then lost leading scorer David Johnson to injury. All seemed stacked against George Burley's men. Then an unlikely hero, Tony Mowbray, stepped up to power home Town's equaliser. 1-1 and Ipswich beginning to look the stronger side. But just before half-time, Craig Hignett was caught by Wright in the penalty area. The young goalkeeper's day, it seemed, was getting worse. That was until he picked himself up to save Darren Barnard's penalty. So Ipswich came out for the second half with their tails up and wasted no time in taking the lead. Marcus Stewart's flick, super sub Richard Naylor with the calm finish. The two players swapped roles for Town's third, this time Naylor with some brilliant hold-up play before giving Jamie Clapham a chance to cross for Stewart to score. Elation on the Ipswich bench, but you can never celebrate until the finish in the playoffs. And when Barnsley were awarded a second penalty, Hignett made no mistake to keep the Ipswich nerves jangling. And thanks to Richard Wright's stunning point-blank save, Ipswich maintained their lead. Victory was only confirmed in the very last minute. The inspirational Naylor set substitute Martin Reusser free, and he provided an emphatic finish. (4-2), George Burley knew his team had done it. Ipswich had won promotion to the Premiership.
Poor old Stuart Gerald, I know how he feels. It's very, very noisy up here. I think we should take a break now, but don't go away. We'll hopefully be hearing from one or two of the players after the break, and it's going to get very, very lively. Join us again soon.
Welcome back to an Ipswich Town centre that's going mad. It's a sea of blue and white. The players are now arriving here on the open-top bus. Captain Matt Holland in the centre of the bus there. They've had a wonderful ride through the town. Have you ever seen anything like it? 1978, 1981. It's got nothing on this, I can tell you. I was here on both of those occasions, and here we are again. It's been walking pace all through the town centre, all through the town for the last hour. And here are all the players on the bus. Richard Edwards in the other part of the town centre.
Thank you very much, Stuart. It really is slow progress through the throngs of crowds. Let's talk again to Kevin Beattie. The civic pride here, Kevin, has been fantastic. They're just loving every minute of it, aren't they?
Oh yeah, of course. Obviously, it's like I said. You know, I've been saying that in the press. These fans, you know, they are superb fans, and they deserve, you know, Premiership football. They've got it now, but. I also said to everybody, take every minute in, because you never know when we're going to do this again. So you've got to think like every minute of yesterday at Wembley and now this evening in Ipswich. You know, it's got to be a thing for a lifetime, so they're going to enjoy themselves, obviously.
The region is proving that it could actually accommodate Premiership football as well.
Yes, obviously the region's done great at the moment. Obviously I'm very pleased for Barry Fry as well. I thought I'd give him a mention because the posh have gone up. But I know that the region, you know, the fans, you know, from here down to Norwich, you know, to Peterborough, to Colchester, East Anglia is a big base for football. And you know, in the olden days, we sort of recorded as, you know, the backstreet people sort of thing, or the country yokels. But now they sort of put themselves on the map, and we've got, you know, 2 fine football teams in this area, and people have got to appreciate that.
And the blue and white looks pretty good around here, doesn't it?
Well, it looks obviously better than the old, I can't say the other colour, but yeah, at the moment, but you know, being honest about it, I'd love Norwich to be up there as well, because there's nothing better than a couple of local derbies every year.
I think we can actually hear from Richard Footer, who has got some of the key figures with him. Richard.
Thanks very much, Richard. The fans going wild now, expecting the bus to come round the corner at any minute. What do you think of tonight? Tremendous.
Quality! It's quality!
Looking forward to seeing you here.
Yes.
Were you at Wembley yesterday?
Yes!
Just as good as Wembley?
Yeah!
How are Ipswich going to do you think, next season?
Brilliant!
Europe! Who cares?
You're going to go into Europe?
As long as you stay up, I don't care.
And who was the man of the match for you? Who are you looking forward to seeing most?
Naylor was class.
Okay, thanks very much. Yeah, there you have it down there. It's going great down here. Fans arriving, buses arriving. The fans really looking forward to seeing them. You're going to give them a hell of a rapturous occasion. Here we go, back to Richard.
Kevin, let's talk about George Burley. What an impact he's made over the past few seasons.
Oh, I'm so pleased for him. Obviously, I played with George in you know, in the olden days, obviously, but he sort of, you know, he started off his career up at Ayr United and went to Colchester, and you know, I had a funny feeling he was going to come to Ipswich Town, and I'm delighted for him, because his knowledge of the game is second to none, and he'll have learned a lot off the great Bobby Robson as well.
Yeah, that's right, because Bobby was about the last time you were celebrating.
That's right, yeah, and obviously George was a player then, so he's picked up a few tips from the old gaffer, and obviously he's got to put it to these players as well.
We saw shots there of Matt Holland, captain courageous. He's had quite an impact, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, superb player. He's had a few injuries. I think it's 100. I forgot how many consecutive games, but he's a player who doesn't want to be injured. You know, he wants to be out there every minute of every 90 minutes, and you know, well, the rest of the lads are the same, but you know, Matt is something special. You don't get players like that, and when they bought him, we thought, well, we've never heard of the boy, but he's made a great impact in Ipswich.
And of course it means that one of our favourite sons, or one of the favourite sons of Ipswich, Richard Wright, will probably be staying next season, or will be staying.
Oh, well, that's great news, isn't it? You know, there's been rumours about his going here, there and everywhere, but he confirmed yesterday that he's definitely going to stay, so that can only be good for the club. I'm really pleased for Richard as well, because he needs Premiership football just to sort of enhance his career, you know, for the career to go on further.
Maybe even Kieran Dyer is wondering whether he should have stayed another season. He could have gone into the Premiership with Ipswich instead of Newcastle.
Well, the thing was, you know, they got a great offer at the time, the club, and you know, so one they couldn't refuse, really, £6 million. And obviously Kieran will be over the moon, because he'll be down here performing next season. And obviously he's a local lad at heart, but his heart will be with the Jordans at the moment. But I'm sure he'll be delighted for Ipswich Town.
I wonder now if we can actually go down and get a bit more of the atmosphere down below with Stuart Gerald. Stuart, can you hear us now?
Well, we're still waiting for the players to get off the bus. They've had an absolutely wonderful journey. I can see Marcus Stewart up there with his video camera. He's been recording his own personal memories of this trip. All the directors on the bus. There's a huge bottle of champagne up there, which is imaginary. But there's been lots of drinking going on, lots of celebration, and coming off the bus now are the players. I've got George Burley quickly with me here now. George, very quickly, can we have 2 words? First man off the bus is the Ipswich manager, George Burley. You witnessed this, George, in '78. What's it like today?
Well, it seems even better, really. I mean, what a fantastic turnout. You can see the amount of people here and the atmosphere. Absolutely fantastic.
This is brilliant for everybody, isn't it?
Yeah, great. We've worked very hard in the last 4 years, and you can see that the response we've had for the crowd. Very pleased.
Thank you, George. Enjoy the reception. We've got the chairman, David Sheepshanks. He's next one off. A very quick word about this amazing reception.
I mean, it's just choking. I've been hard to speak, really. I mean, look at it. Look what a uniting force Ipswich Town can be for the town, the county, and I think we can go and represent East Anglia with pride in the Premiership, and it's going to be wonderful.
Go and enjoy the fans.
Thank you.
We'll enjoy the evening. Back to Richard.
Thanks, Stuart. Absolutely fantastic scenes here. Kevin, the question we have to ask is, can they survive in the Premiership next season?
It's going to be difficult. Obviously, it's sort of like two leagues now in the Premiership. You've got the elite at the top and the not so elite at the bottom, shall we say. And I think Ipswich at the moment are going to be in that status, you know, down the bottom and fighting for survival. But I can't see why they can't do like a Leicester City or a Wimbledon, for example. Previous seasons, of course, with Wimbledon, because you know, George is a shrewd guy. They're both shrewdly, and I'm sure the chairman will give him a few pennies to spend. And they'll find it tough, but they're going to give it all you know, they've got, really.
We just heard from the chairman, David Sheepshanks. He's pretty high profile, but he does a good job for this club, doesn't he?
Oh, David Sheepshanks, you know, it's been a revelation. He is blue and white through and through. And, you know, you can see his I watched the TV last night, obviously, and the emotions that were going through his face yesterday was unbelievable. He loves the club.
Kevin, I think we can actually go back to Stuart Gerald now. He's got someone else to talk to. Stuart.
With me now is Marcus Stewart, one of the scorers at Wembley. I see you've done your own video diary of today's reception.
But the tape's run out.
How have you felt about this marvellous reception?
It's a splendid day. I mean, everyone's, you can see, I mean, I can't really hear what you're saying, but you obviously see it's been fantastic. It's the best day of my life.
Go up to the balcony and enjoy it. Back to Richard.
Thanks, Joe. I think it's about time we actually lapped up some of the atmosphere around here just for a few seconds. Let's just hear some of the noise. Okay, they're about to go inside. Hopefully we will see them appear on the balcony. That's one of the big moments, isn't it?
Well, that is the greatest moment, actually. You know, actually, it'll be hard to get them off the balcony, I can assure you, because once you get out there, you want to soak up every minute of the atmosphere, and we might hear some of them speak actually as well. You know, I'm so pleased for them. I find it hard to find words, you know, because it takes me back all them years ago, and I know what they're feeling at the moment. So, you know, just let them. You know, I just want them to get every minute and enjoy everything they get.
As usual, these things run a little bit late, don't they?
Oh yeah, of course. You can't put an itinerary to these things because you know, you never know who's going to be late in players, and obviously you don't know how many people are going to come out. But you know, we didn't expect them to be before, you know, 6:15 anyways. But you know, look at these fans. Have been waiting what 3-4 hours. Fantastic, isn't it?
Marcus Stewart, big signing, record signing. Proved his worth in the last few matches.
Oh yes, he's had a bit of problems with injuries, Marcus, but he's proved he can score goals, and he scored a great one yesterday, and that's why George paid £2.5 million for him. He's only going to get better. You know, he's come to a different club. He's going to find it hard to, you know, to get into to find the sort of condition that we play in, and obviously his fitness, because he hadn't played for a long time, and he's doing a great job.
The other thing about an occasion like this, it's a boost for the whole area, isn't it?
Exactly, you know, it's not only the football club that's going to be profiled, it's actually Ipswich and East Anglia. And, you know, who knows, you know, there's going to be millions of pounds flying about, I can assure you that. So, you know, well, all the shops today, as you know, early, but obviously with all this money flying about now, that they'll be opening for extra time later on in the week, I suppose.
The conservative estimates are 10 to 12 million it's worth to get to the Premiership.
Yeah, it's a lot of money in it. But nowadays, mind you, it's nothing if you've got one player can cost that. But, well, you can see the chairman's just come on the balcony now, and I'm so pleased for this.
I think we can probably hear from the chairman, so let's just hear a few words from David Sheepshanks. Yeah, I mean, Kevin, you've just said to me, he really is blue and white through and through.
He is. I've never seen a chairman, you know, so... Well, obviously, the chairman are popular with the crowd.
You're all
this
wonderful.
Drinks. Sure.
Thank you very, very much. I'm so choked I can hardly talk, but this is the most magical, magical day of my life. Say, we are going to Premier League! We're going to go to the Premier League. We're going to represent Ipswich. We're going to represent Suffolk. We're going to represent East Anglia. And we're going to do it with pride, as the pride of Anglia. But that's enough from me. I want you to give the biggest welcome to the man who really made this possible. Will you give the biggest welcome of the day? I know you'll do it for all the players and everybody, but will you give the biggest welcome to the manager, George Burley, who made this happen?
Are we off there?
Thank you. Thank you very much. What a turnout. Ipswich Town fans, look at all those blue white shirts. Brilliant. As we know, we've kept plugging away. Every season we'll get better and better for the last 3 or 4 years. The supports get bigger. The team have been magnificent. What a day yesterday at Wembley. All I want to say is,
Kevin, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Fantastic scenes.
Richard, I tell you something, as I said earlier, you know, I've got goose pimples and watching this because it takes me back all them years, and they deserve it. They've had a great season, and the fans deserve it as well because they've been great this season as well. You know, it's hard to describe the emotion. You know, it really does hit you, and I am so pleased. The chairman there, he is. I was saying earlier, he's so through and through Ipswich Town. You know, he eats, sleeps, drinks Ipswich Town, and I'm so pleased for him as well, and the rest of the board as well, of course.
He was nearly in tears yesterday as well, wasn't he, at the match?
He was, yeah. I seen him on the TV last night, and you know, I've never seen a chairman so emotional. You know, he really puts his heart into everything, and he's kept his word.
Anyway, we don't really want to leave, do we? But I think we're going to have to. The party is only just beginning in a way, but we're going to have to leave it behind now because the programme is about to end. The scenes here have been absolutely magnificent. After 3 seasons of defeat in the playoffs, few would begrudge their moment of triumph.
And also I was in Bury St Edmunds earlier today, and even there the shops were full. So it's a thing for Suffolk, not just for Ipswich. It's a big event for Suffolk. That bus arrived in the Market Square a few minutes ago. Sean Peel was on board it and he had a very eventful journey.
Well, we're floating along a river of blue through the streets of Ipswich. These guys on here have been floating, I should imagine, for the last 24 hours, including Marcus Stewart enjoying the moment, Marcus.
It's a magnificent occasion. As you can see, all the fans here, magnificent. This is going to be something I'm going to be able to keep and treasure for the rest of my life. So I'll share my grandkids and my kids. So
training yourself up as a cameraman?
Yes, I am. I'm taking this man's job. It's such a bad job. no, of course, it's just for me. This will be a perfect occasion for the most perfect time in my football career.
Have you been able to sleep last night?
I slept quite well because I had a few too many. So.
Well, good luck and well done. Ipswich in the Premiership next season. This journey is going to end sometime soon, but the real journey will be starting in the Premiership in August.
And we look forward to the Premiership, don't we? Now look, if you just take the camera and look up there on that balcony, you can see Ian Winter, and I think you've got some players with you, Ian, haven't you? Over to you.
Stuart, you're absolutely right. Not since 1978 has Ipswich experienced anything like that, when of course they brought the FA Cup back here to the Corn Exchange and received a rapturous welcome like they have done today. And one of the heroes of the hour, Richard Naylor, is alongside me. Richard, what is this scene like here today?
Mate, it's fantastic. I can't believe it. I thought Wembley was something, but today, you know, it's different gear. Can't believe it. The fans are fantastic.
What a super sub performance it was from yourself.
Yeah, it's a team performance, you know. I'm not taking too much credit myself, you know. It's a squad game. All the players played the part. Sco couldn't play on the day and Jono got injured, so, you know, I came in and did well, so it's a squad game and we're all just chuffed to bits.
What does it mean for a young player like yourself to have such a reaction from up to 20,000 people?
Oh, it's everything, isn't it? Everything. The fans are just fantastic, you know. I can't believe it.
It really whets your appetite for the Premiership, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, you've got Premier League supporters, so hopefully, you know, we'll stay a Premier League team for a while now.
To score a goal yourself and to have such a vital role in creating two others, quite incredible.
Yeah, it's a dream come true, like you said, you know, you think about things before the game starts and hope that you get on and hope you do well, and, you know, it's all gone well,
Excellent. Richard Naylor, thank you very much indeed. From the balcony here at the Corn Exchange, we'll have more live a little bit later in tonight's Look East.
You really can't believe the noise which is generated in this Market Square. In a little while we hope to be hearing from David Sheepshanks, we hope to be hearing from some more of the players, but first of all let's go back to you in the studio, Susie.
Thanks. Back to Ian Winter in Ipswich.
Susie, thanks very much indeed. As you can tell here at the Corn Exchange Ipswich, it's absolute pandemonium. Let's talk to two of the guys who've masterminded Ipswich back into the Premiership, the chairman David Sheepshanks and the manager George Burley. George, how does this compare to 22 years ago when you won the Cup?
Well, I mean, I think it's even better. I mean, it was a tremendous occasion then. I think this beats a lot.
You're very emotional tonight, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, the reality's second in. We're in the Premiership, we're preparing ahead. This is a day for the fans. The fans are here to celebrate and they're enjoying every minute of it.
What does it mean to the players, a reaction like this from so many supporters?
Yeah, we've had to support like this all season. This is not a one-off. They've been with us for a number of years and they've stopped by us through thick and thin.
George, thank you. Let's bring the chairman in as well. You're a very proud man tonight, aren't you?
I'm absolutely overwhelmed at this support. You know, as George said, they've been magnificent all season and the numbers just keep growing. And yesterday at Wembley, 37,500, all the way back from London, people on the bridges by the side of the road. And look at this, it's just absolutely marvellous, and it's just a signal really to the uniting force that football is and how it brings people together of all ages, you know, creeds, colours, everybody. It just brings people together and it just makes this magic, and it's marvellous.
You can savour this moment and then you will have to start planning, of course, for the Premiership in August.
Of course, but as George says, today's for the fans, you know, for everybody, everyone connected with the club, to just glory really in what this wonderful man did and all his players, his coaches. It's been a great team effort on and off the field, and I can only salute everybody at Ipswich, but also this wonderful fan base, and aren't they going to be a credit to the Premier League?
Indeed they are. David Sheepshanks, George Burley, many thanks for joining us on Look East Live tonight. Let's go back to the studio and Susie.
You know, it's very tempting to see this as a sporting occasion, and of course it is, but it's also very important for Ipswich and for Suffolk. Bob Feltwell is from the Chamber of Commerce. What will it mean to Ipswich and Suffolk, Bob?
Well, it's going to mean millions of pounds of extra business. It's going to raise the profile of the county, overseas and in the UK, and we think it's going to attract. And after all, it's a brilliant place to come and work if anybody wants to help our economy grow.
Put a figure on it. How many millions a month do you reckon?
I would think several £1 million a month if you take it, and it's going to grow over the years. We think Ipswich should stay in the Premiership now they've got there.
I think you've got lots of fans here who agree with you. Thank you very much for being with us. As I said at the top of the programme, this is just one celebration which is going on tonight. Let's go to Northampton. And congratulations to everybody at Northampton Saints. It's been hard these last few weeks and now they've made history. Let's just have a look at the bus arriving a few minutes ago. Actually already the balcony is, if we just come around and have a look at the balcony, the players have gone inside now and people are already starting to drift away. Somebody was going to try and get me to wear an Ipswich shirt, but I didn't actually get it up here in time. This is the bus arriving just 40 minutes ago, and of course big scenes here in the centre of Ipswich when the bus arrived. Everybody was waiting for this. We'd had reports of it coming through the town. Everywhere was lined with supporters who were waiting for the people to get here, and now after just half an hour and a big celebration, all the waiting, all those years of trying to reach the final and not making it, and then at last making the final of the playoffs. And now, as they've been singing, we are in the Premiership, we are in the Premiership now. The Ipswich Town supporters have been celebrating something that they've been waiting for a very long time to actually achieve. And tonight they have achieved that. They've enjoyed their celebration. They have people who've been coming out with small children. There's an area down at the front where the players have been meeting people who've been in wheelchairs. And all of these people, they've been throwing toilet rolls up at us. And we've had a real celebration here. Perhaps the disappointment for fans in Norfolk is that the fans here are saying, I hope you've been watching Norwich City, and wouldn't it be nice for East Anglia, with Peterborough promoted, with Ipswich Town promoted, if in the next few weeks and months Norwich City could get their act together and they would end up in the Premiership as well. We've had a fabulous time here. The fans have been wonderful. It's been a perfect advertisement for football. Everybody has been very well behaved. We hope that Ipswich Town, having made it to the Premiership now, can make a success of being in the Premiership. I'm going to finish with a perfect day, some music and some perfect shots. Good night.
Such a perfect day.
I'm glad I spent it with you.
Oh, such a perfect day. You just keep me hanging on. You just keep me hanging on.
With any luck, Ipswich will be a couple of goals ahead by now.
We're hoping.
We've got some excellent music for you. This is
Heaven 17! Going to reap just what you sow. You're going to reap just what you sow. You're going to reap just what you sow, yeah. You're going to reap just
perfect day.